Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 528
528.
of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. We're talking about EPCOT today and Disney's Animal Kingdom holidays. If you're looking for holiday travel, there really isn't too much time left. We're already in December. But if you are, head to MEI and Mouse Fan Travel and they can help you out. But if you're looking for travel next year, we've got Disney cruise ships, including Disney Treasures starting in just a couple weeks, as well as the Disney Destiny, Disney Adventure, and of
Disneyland's 70th birthday.
Yes, we don't know too much about that yet, but I'm looking forward to finding out the dates. And Epic Universe, not just...
Yes, Universal Fan Travel too. Let's not forget about Epic Universe.
Be huge. That's going to be huge. So check out MEI and Mouse Fan Travel and Universal Fan Travel and head to their website for a no obligation quote.
And as you mentioned, we're going to start off with Disney's Animal Kingdom.
And look what a beautiful day this was.
It's been beautiful.
Right. I mean, just a gorgeous blue sky. Although our Epcot day was a little rainy and gray. But this particular day was amazing. And we're just looking at the Christmas tree. And the Christmas tree is decorated. You've got a lot of animal theming. It can be Disney animals or not. But right now we're looking at like Eeyore and Kanga and Roo, and you've got Piglet, yes, and Tigger and such. But if you look up in the tree, you might see other animals and really kind of nature-looking ornaments.
The tree at Disney's Animal Kingdom really hasn't changed in the last number of years, but it is a beautiful, beautiful tree.
Right. I mean, it's gorgeous. It looks really nice when you're coming into the park.
So, speaking of coming into the park, here we go. We're going to start our holidays here at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
And we really, this is a park we often wait until toward the end of the season to go visit for whatever reason. And I'm glad we got here a little bit earlier.
And there is so much holiday here at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
And especially like the Merry Menagerie, and we'll talk about that. So, Adventurous Outpost, Mickey and Minnie, we came in to say hello. They're in there. They've got festive flourishes.
Yes, they're more of a flourished look, if you ask me, not the full Christmas experience.
Well, I would say that with a number of the outfits, are very much flourishes. And I just want to mention, get there early. The line can get long here. Later in the day, we saw at least 45, 55 minutes. But when we got in line, it was about 15 minutes. So early in the day is best.
And there's another thing about this location is there's not a dedicated PhotoPass photographer. So sometimes when you're kind of looking at the box, there's a little box that takes your picture. It doesn't exactly do as well as when there's a human. So I would suggest giving your phone to the cast member who's always happy to take a picture just as a backup, because it really helped us out quite a bit. So that's it for Mickey and Minnie. Then we headed over to Dinoland, because Dinoland, as everyone knows, will be closing, and we wanted to meet Santa. Santa is new in Dinoland this year.
Right, new, and this will also be his final year here. So this was such a great location. You can tell that the people who decorated it, the Disney employees who decorated it did such a wonderful job.
The cast members?
The cast members, yes. Honestly, I wasn't sure if it's Imagineers, if it's like who is in charge of the decorations in this location.
But amazing job. There's so much detail. We, when we were waiting for Santa to arrive, we were not bored. Everywhere you looked, there was little details to see, and we thoroughly enjoyed that.
And it's decorated for the 75th annual Dino Institute holiday party. And there's so many, like the
Dr. Grant Seeker there.
Employee of the month. There's so many wonderful details here. And we arrived about 15 minutes, no, longer, a half hour at least before the first.
Before Santa.
Yes, before Santa arrived. The first meet of the day.
Look at that. You can even see the little ride vehicle.
The little time rover. So we arrived about a half hour early. And because we were so early, we were able to stand here and take photos for that half hour plus, which was really nice, videos and photos and such. So I think that's such a great time to arrive. And the line got very long later.
Very long, very quick.
Really long, yes.
I mean, extremely long by the time we got out, just that alone.
And this is on the patio of Restaurant Saurus through December 24th. And so here we met Santa. He did not ask us what we wanted. I'm not sure if that's like a dinosaur chicken nugget pillow.
It is. Well, not chicken nugget. It's a little dino pillow.
That's what it looks like a chicken nugget.
You had Santa here. We had plenty of time. We could have asked him about this.
He didn't even ask us what we wanted for Christmas.
It's probably for the best.
It is for the best. Like, you got me a Fitbit anyway.
Well,
so
there's other.
You already got me something.
It doesn't even count.
And there's another time over right.
I love this. This was a great detail that we were able to see up close as you were walking out. So just amazing. It was better than expected, the Santa meet there.
It was wonderful, wonderfully decorated. And here are Chip and Dale.
Well, as we walked out of the Santa meet and greet, a whole bunch of characters in their holiday outfits were walking out to start their meet and greets for the first time for the day. So it was great timing.
And we're in Donald's Dino Bash. So like Chip and Dale, who I think we're going to see coming up, and here you can see Goofy. They're normally dinosaurs here, but they have like the reindeer antlers and the lights and such. And here is Pluto, who I'm not sure what. Well, I guess he has a scarf with the dinosaur bones on it. So again, here is Chip and Dale. They are dinosaur Chip and Dale, but Chip has the antlers. And I don't know what
those
Dale's
are lights.
doing.
Those are Christmas lights.
No, I'm saying he's dancing and stuff. Really fun.
Chip and Dale dancing.
There was like music in the background.
I would love to. We need to come here and see them at night. I would love to see if those lights are lit for the evening.
I'm not sure what time I will have to see what time they end here.
Because we did talk about stopping at Disney's Animal Kingdom and seeing Dinoland lit up at night again.
Yes, because we didn't this time. So here is Daisy. Daisy is always her sassy self, and I like that she's next to a dinosaur.
Yes.
I just think that adds a touch of fun. And then she's showing the gifts.
What a festive location, though, with all the trees and everything, the colors. Very
garland.
Nice. Garland, yes.
And so really, the line here, none of the lines were that long.
Right.
Except for Donald.
Well, Santa had the longest line.
Well, Santa had a really long line later, and Donald Duck has a long line. But I think that Daisy and Chip and Dale, they're a little off the beaten path.
Right. They're kind of hidden back in the woods, literally.
Essentially. And so the lines aren't too long. So check the app for their times, everybody's times.
Speaking of hidden, Pluto was really hidden.
Yes. And he has, I just noticed, and I probably noticed at the time, he has like lights around his neck as well as that scarf that has kind of a bit of a dinosaur theme. And so he did not have too much, really a very short wait.
And we're about to see one of the highlights of this whole land. It will be Santa Saurus for one last appearance.
And I will miss the Dinoland area. I really, everybody loves dinosaurs. And this is, Santa Saurus, I don't think he was Santa Saurus last year.
He has not appeared in recent years because he was for Halloween in other years too.
I always love him as Santa Saurus, and they decorate other dinosaurs in here as well. But he's the big one, and he has the hat and the beard and everything. And I was glad to see him.
Yeah,
all made up
again. One last season for Santa Saurus, which was very nice.
And so if you go to Chester and Hester's, that's where he is. And go look for him.
But look around, as you mentioned, there's dinosaurs that have little tiny Santa hats. Lots of them.
And they always do that.
Maybe hundreds of them. It's kind of fun to just poke around the store and see all of that.
So so much decor to see.
So you mentioned earlier the Merry Menagerie, and here they are. They're coming out to start the day.
I think this is one of my favorite aspects of the holiday season, maybe at Walt Disney World itself. And so you have the puppeteers and these life-size puppets that are like created by artisans, and they're very interactive in that they encourage guests to come up and pet the. It's
so nice, yes, that as you mentioned, you really feel like they're alive.
And not all of the animals, like when you pet them, will feel like you're petting a real animal, but some of them, like the penguins are a little softer. And so it's really fun, and they have live music. So it's
multiple different music performers.
Right. Sometimes at the same time, sometimes you'll have a couple of musicians out at the same time.
And I see, look at this, you're trying to get pictures of the birds. Be careful with that.
And then you have a couple polar bears here, and they come out in waves. So
Yes.
you're not going to get all of the animals at the same time. Maybe every 20 to 25 minutes or so.
There's a seal there.
Yes. So every 20 to 30 minutes, we'll say, a different set of performers comes out with new animals. So like here we are seeing the polar bears, but at the next set you had
Penguins. And we were waiting on, we
love the penguins. And this musician, we've seen him
since the beginning.
I think he's been there since the beginning. And so he's really great.
I think you even mentioned that, great to see you back, or something like that.
did.
You told him.
I did. And so we also have a steel drummer
right,
here.
and we've seen him in other years. And you mentioned the penguins. Here come the penguins.
And they are, I think, my favorite. And you have different size penguins, and there's a larger penguin coming up here now.
And if you follow the penguins around, they sometimes will sneak up on guests and chase them around. It's so much fun. But
Not too much of a chase, but they really want guests to interact and to really enjoy these animals.
And I see to the right, the fox is going to make an appearance as we look at the big penguin.
And I just, I love to see the interactions, and especially, like guests a lot of times seem surprised. They don't realize they're going to be seeing these animals.
And they don't start when the park opens. It's usually a few hours after opening time, just because where they appear, it's too busy. So we would recommend later in the day to see them, because it's a little bit more relaxed. You don't have so many people coming in, and you can really enjoy the experience with the characters that way.
And I still remember we did the media event for this about 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
It was a big deal when they arrived. And so they've really become a great part of the holidays at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
And you can actually buy puppets now, and plush of them, and shirts. I think they even have a
Spirit jersey. Yeah, they had a Spirit jersey. I don't know if you're going to show it.
No, I didn't. I forgot. So anyway, now we're off to EPCOT. You know why? Because it is time for the EPCOT International Festival of the Holidays, and this is the opening day. This was the day after Thanksgiving Friday.
And it runs through December 30th. I thought there'd be a little something else here, maybe a topiary.
But that ended up being, well, at least so far, that's what we have so far. Now we're going into CommuniCore Hall. We're going to see the gingerbread Spaceship Earth. And here's a little details about that gingerbread Spaceship Earth.
The engineering. Gingerneering.
Say that again.
It's hard to say.
Say that 5 times.
So it took them 160 hours to create it. And there's 1,300 gingerbread shingles. And there is a celebration countdown it's supposed to be every half hour.
But it's more like every 10 minutes or 15 minutes at least when we were there.
When we were there, yes. I don't know it could be the half hour that they promised now. And there literally is a clock. I think there's 2 clocks. And so the gingerbread, it does light up just like the regular Spaceship Earth does.
Right. There's music, a score that is involved, and it's a 3-minute light show. And you can see the crowd is kind of, everyone's recording it, because that was one of the first times it happened. Later on, though, it was, you could just walk up and there was not that many guests watching that.
It was cute. So now we are already at Chestnuts and Good Cheer. You ended up getting some cashews, the cinnamon.
Well, you ordered the cashews.
Yes.
I delivered them to you, but
yes.
They were yours.
And
I ordered the hot chestnuts, and there they are. These chestnuts, literally, I mean, the bag was hot. Everything, it came right off the fire. So it was very freshly heated.
But different than what you've had like in France.
Very different than I've had in France. And also the Grand Floridian used to hand them out. The difference was there's a seasoning. As you can see, they're very, very sticky. So it gets all over your hands when you try to peel them and open them. But the payoff is worth it, because they are the most delicious chestnuts I've had at any of the parks.
And we're taking a break. This was not on the same day. It was a few days earlier. Moana debuted new costume from Moana 2. And she is in her usual meet and greet area. She is now meeting here and in Paris and at Disney California Adventure.
Very popular with the meet and greet. The line was quite long. And Moana just made a record amount of money.
Yes.
So it's doing very well. We'll be seeing it tomorrow.
Moana 2 has a new Thanksgiving Day box office record with $225 million. I wrote this down. Highest 5-day opening of all time, which is amazing.
And we haven't seen it yet. We're going to see it. We'll be seeing it tomorrow, so we're looking forward to that too at Disney Springs.
We went to see Wicked first.
We did. Wicked was phenomenal.
Wonderful.
I highly recommend Wicked, by the way.
So now we are looking at these festive fragrances from Scentsy. This one is maple apple bourbon, and then there is frosted cedar. And the one thing is, I didn't really smell a lot except one time. It's like if you stand near it, every so often it will.
Well, you see, it says
like
sniff
puff.
here.
Yeah, but a lot of times I don't smell it until it does like a puff.
Yeah, just like all these Scentsy things we've done, you kind of have to wait a little bit.
But then other guests might want to see
right.
it. So I smelled a little of something. Ginger Cookie Crunch also is here.
I did smell all of it. Everything smelled very nice. But as you said, I probably gave it a little more time than you.
Probably. And here is, we
Canada?
Got Canada beef bourguignon. We got, again, this is something that is an annual favorite of ours. And then you also got the seared salmon. I really enjoy the beef bourguignon. It's a little bit salty for me. That would be my only issue, but I really enjoy the flavor.
I remember you saying it was a very good portion.
It's a really nice portion.
It was heavy.
Yeah.
And the seared salmon was delicious. It paired so well with the accompaniment there. So like the whole thing just worked. I loved it. I would have this again. You know, I like salmon here at home all the time. So I was happy. It was a nice way to start the festivities.
Well, we really enjoy
After the nuts, of course.
Yes. I mean, it's nice when you get a good portion size, and that's something that we would get at the India booth during the Food and Wine Festival, and we spent a lot of time there. So here is Belle in her enchanted Christmas dress. She has been meeting over here at the gazebo, which is normally the Sleeping Beauty area.
Yeah, Aurora.
Princess Aurora. For about 5 or 6 years now. She's been here for quite some time.
Yeah, they usually swap spots because Aurora moved over to Belle's usual spot, closer to Morocco, and I think you just need a lot more room with this dress.
And Belle is the only character I can think of that has a totally a special outfit for the holidays, where Snow White and Princess Aurora have like that little flourish.
And definitely check on the app because that will have the latest times and updated locations for the characters. And now we're going to see Père Noël.
And Père Noël is always the first, we'll call him Santa, although he's Father Christmas. He's the first one that we pretty much always see each year.
And my favorite. And I want to tell a little story about Père Noël. And I may have told this in the past. This is not my first encounter with Mr. Noel. And for the longest time, for decades, I thought his name was Pierre
and
Noel.
You're not the only one who thinks that. Like,
we met others who
think it's Pierre.
That are my age who have been calling him Pierre.
Or younger.
Well, not much younger. Anyway, our good friend Roni from DLP Licious actually went and met Père Noël in France at Disneyland Paris and explained to him the situation. The real Père Noël told me it is Père, not Pierre.
But I actually told you that a few years ago because I kept hearing you say Pierre, and I'm like,
I did it on purpose
because Père means father, and I thought it was interesting, and I just learned this year that there is no Mère Noël. There's no Mrs. Claus in France.
Mrs. Noel.
So it's I guess a very American thing to have that the Mrs. Claus.
But I have to say it was great to see him back again, and afterwards I had him leave another message to my good friend, a Christmas message for Roni as a thank you for clearing up that misunderstanding. And here is Father Christmas at the UK Pavilion.
And Father Christmas, they're storytellers, so they tell the story of the holidays, just like Père Noël speaks of Babette, and then Father Christmas has his story to tell.
He does a lot of singing and bell ringing.
Yes, and that's not something we have from the other Father Christmas.
But it's fun. I do enjoy his story also, the traditional story of Christmas in the United Kingdom.
But he no longer has the mistletoe.
Well, he does talk about, he references the mistletoe. He just doesn't ask to demonstrate the mistletoe.
Which is something he did for years.
And we were the victim of that
No,
in the past.
not a victim.
You'd done it. And then you would know it's coming and you'd leave because you don't like to be the center of attention. So
Yes,
maybe it's
I
for
don't.
you that he, Father Christmas. Maybe you wished it for Father Christmas
No.
one year and he changed the show for you.
So right now, there's something that I learned while I was taking photos of this Father Christmas inside the United Kingdom Pavilion. While I was taking the picture, I'm wondering why he has birds in a cage. And a
They
cast
look like
member,
calling birds, calling birds.
yes, a cast member told me that she had a story to tell me that they have the 12 Days of Christmas located around, including these 12 drummers and these swans, around the United Kingdom Pavilion. They were not all out yet. We found 6.
7 swans a swimming.
Is it 7? Because, oh yes, 7.
Yeah.
I forget the amount. I mostly am looking at the 4 there. And then you have the 3 hens. You
French
found
hens,
the
yeah.
3 French hens.
2 turtle doves.
Yes, and we have also the partridge in a pear tree that we found. So, spoiler alert, a little late.
Well, we only showed half, and some aren't apparently, at least
That's
from
what I'm
the
just
first
saying.
day.
That's what I just said. That not all of them were available.
Mm-hmm.
They could be now. We're going to check it out maybe tomorrow.
What a charming little bone. Yeah, we'll check it out tomorrow.
To me, that's it was such a surprise and delight. I just loved it. So
Speaking of delight, we're about to have a salted caramel Spaceship Earth cookie. But before that, we're going to say a quick hi to Mr. Claus himself, Santa. We missed him. He was just heading off, so we'll have to get there a little earlier to meet Mr. Claus. We were held up by the rain. There was unexpected rain that happened.
He has very nice meet and greet again this year. I think it's the 3rd year for that. This is the salted caramel cookie, Spaceship Earth, and I always like it.
Delicious.
I think this is around the 3rd year for it as well. I definitely recommend it. It is really a nice treat for the holidays.
And speaking of a nice treat for the holiday, look at that beautiful sweater that Figment has been wearing for the last number of years. Now you can have your own. I could have had my own too. And maybe I still will tomorrow.
This is in the Creation Shop. You can see Figment there in his sweater. But guests can now purchase this sweater, which is a little lighter, quite a bit lighter.
And it doesn't have the design on the bottom, so I'm still considering it. But I'll probably end up getting it.
It's very popular. Guests have been grabbing them, and you can see.
I saw someone in Costco with it yesterday.
Yes, we went to Costco in Claremont, and there was somebody, and then you went to talk to him.
Yeah,
about
I
this
needed
sweater.
advice on sizing.
So here is Living with the Land glittering greenhouses. For many years, the Living with the Land has been decorated, and a number of years ago, they then officially made an attraction
It
out
just
of
gets
it.
better and better. The one thing I wish that they would do is have it
Music.
The whole area with
Music.
music. But I understand they're still trying to tell the story, but I think music would really, really add to it.
Well, I mean, to me, it's more holiday
Mm-hmm.
at this point than the greenhouses. So at least at night, it would be nice to have the music go along with all these lovely lights.
And we did go through it during the day, and it's still nice, but really nighttime is the right time to do this.
I think it's nice to do both
Mm-hmm.
to see it because there's some elements that you can see better during the day, but then at night it's just so beautiful with all the lights.
And I have to say, at night, the line can be very long. I checked on the app last night. It was like 45 minutes. I randomly checked just to see how long it was.
Well, we did this before the official start of EPCOT International Festival of the Holidays. They had it running a few days earlier. And so we waited about 5 minutes, in
During
the
the day.
afternoon. And then a few hours later, it was almost, like 45, 50 minutes. So there was a big difference.
But it's worth it. It's really fun, and I'm glad they do it. And I look forward to going back to the EPCOT International Festival of the Holidays
Tomorrow.
after we see Moana.
Yes.
That'll be our first and probably only stop. We'll try to catch some more storytellers, try some more food, and see some of the nighttime. And candlelight. We haven't even seen candlelight
And
yet.
go to the United Kingdom Pavilion and see if we can find any more of the 12
yeah.
Days of Christmas. Because
But of course.
that's my favorite thing from the holidays at EPCOT this year so far.
So, believe it or not, that is another show. We want to thank our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
thank you to MEI and Mouse and Travel. We appreciate their sponsorship so much. Head to their website, fill out a no obligation quote. There's so much coming up in the coming year. We don't even have dates for the 70th anniversary of Disneyland yet. However, it's probably around the same time as Epic Universe. So if you're thinking about Epic Universe, Universal Fan Travel.
That would be May. That would be May of next year.
I can't wait for Epic Universe. And we already have tickets.
Let's not forget for opening day. That's right. Let's not forget about the Disney Treasure, though, sailing very soon.
Yes, and I can't wait. We're going to be talking about it ourselves. We will be on it ourselves soon.
Right, very soon. Yes. So very, very exciting. And again, next week we'll be talking a lot about... I know we were originally going to talk about Disney's... Disneyland, Part 2.
Part 2, yes. And I love
California Adventure I was getting to.
I love Disneyland for the holidays and Disney California Adventure.
So we're going to try to squeeze that in before we go on the Disney Treasure, because then that show will be all about talking about the Disney Treasure. So we're going to try to squeeze in a little more holiday before that. So thanks again for listening. Have a great week. Happy holidays. Hopefully everybody had a very happy and wonderful Thanksgiving. Yes. And we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.